Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to part 4 of Final Fantasy 15 Lucis Vaults. Before we went over to Balouve Mines, I have to do my kingly duty and help my subjects. After all, they in the end will try to do their best to stave away the darkness in comrades. But no, I kind of thought I did this before, but apparently I didn't. Oh well. A helpful king is a good king, and a benevolent king. Speaking of being...
Oh, thank goodness you're here. My car is stuck. What a relief. Thank you.
Ooh, that couldn't have gone any better.
Bye now!
That's it!
What's what?
I've come up with a new recipe.
I could taste test for you.
Yes, folks, it is a kingly duty and obligation to make sure that Ignis says that line every time he concocts a new recipe, because Update 120 did something criminal. Whenever you were trying to find the Aura culinary books, and you found one, for some inexplicable reason... Oh, by the way, we're in Balouve. However, Balouve is level 76, but it's actually easier than Dural. But as I was saying, the update did something criminal, like whenever you tried to find the Aura Culinary Chronicles, when it says Ignis concocts a new recipe, Ignis does nothing. He doesn't say anything. You just pretty much have the recipe. He doesn't even say the line. Gladio or Noctis doesn't even respond. In other words, Update 120 is the worst update to ever exist, aside from neutering the Magitech exosuit in the Ring of Lucis.
Let's hit it.
It also took away the one line that has been deemed the most awesome line in existence. But enough about that. Let's talk about our excursions in Balouve Mines. We're going to be dealing with some Gamma strands, obviously, except for when we go down to the bottom of this place. But there's not as many alternate paths as there were in Fociaugh Hollow or in Kikatra Trench. No, instead, we are just going to be blazing through pretty much the majority of this dungeon, because it's a really short dungeon. I mean, not as short as the Kikatra Trench vault, but this one's actually shorter than Fociaugh Hollow, and mostly shorter than Darl Caverns. It's definitely shorter than that. Now, we're just going to go on ahead and beat the crap out of hobgoblins, as hobgoblins are so overused. While I'm going apeshit on the hobgoblins, I might as well turn my attention to the weapons that we have been getting throughout the entirety of this run. Alright, first and foremost, the Hyper Magnum. While the Hyper Magnum seemed to be a good weapon at first, it only does critical damage if your MP overall is high, and since everyone shares overall MP and Noctis can regenerate his MP over time, then if you have that equipped to Prompto before he gets his hands on the death penalty, well, let's just say Prompto is going to be scoring critical hits no problem. He already does with Piercer, but Jesus Christ, he's automatically going to do max damage until, that is, you manage to break his damage limit. Once you do, you'll see Prompto scoring 10, 20, even 30,000 damage just from one piercer. And it is ridiculous. I mean, I've seen it happen on YouTube. I mean, I haven't tried it for myself because I haven't broke the damage limit for anybody on my team. But goddamn, once I do, you will be seeing them scoring hits within the 10, 20,000s instead of just the 1 to 5,000. You know what I'm saying? Also, the enhancer that I happen to have. The enhancer only is at its most powerful if you are at your high. No, if you're on your well, as I was saying, if you were at high HP, like at max HP, they're basically like the celestial weapon. All the weapons you find in the False Safe of the Death Penalty and the Dominator are basically like the celestial weapons from Final Fantasy X. They have some sort of bonus. Now then, we're just beating the crap out of the Vortooth and ending their miserable lives because, yeah, they just got finished poisoning both me and Ignis, and I'm not too thrilled about that. Oh, and if you think poisoning is bad now, ha 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 ha, wait till we get to Dowell Caverns. Oh, God have mercy. I am not looking forward to doing that place. But, at least for the most part, this area has arguably one of the best the best great sword in the game, which was moved, ironically, from Kikatric Trench, and that was the Apocalypse.
Nothing to it.
And we'll be getting to the Apocalypse pretty soon. But let me remind you all, ladies and gentlemen, the Apocalypse is probably one of the best weapons in the game because of the fact it's like Orin's Masamune. The lower your health is, the more powerful the Apocalypse becomes. And once the Apocalypse is wielded by you and you just happen to be at 1 HP, Jesus Christ, does this thing hurt.
Be nice to brighten things up in here.
Granted, it's really, really slow. Still, it does pack a wallop. So if you're in a very tight battle and you're about to die, well, guess what? You're going to end up... Sorry about that. You are going to end up destroying a lot of enemies with at least 1, maybe 2 hits. If not 4. And I mean, you're always going to be doing criticals as well if you have the Apocalypse and you're at low health. So bear that in mind when you're trying to swing the Apocalypse, because while the Iron Duke is actually fantastic, that sword is a godsend for Noctis. And that should be something you should always have in your arsenal, the Apocalypse. I gave Gladio the Dominator for the reasons, because Gladio needs to do more damage, and also Gladio could do some serious damage to the demons. And let's not forget, folks, that these demons actually take serious damage thanks to the fact that I've unlocked the ability in my Ascension table. They take serious damage from appendages breaks. And the Dominator has the ability, and probability, I should say, to do to do damage breaks. That's what I'm trying to say. And the moment Gladio managed to land a break, you might as well say that demon is going to die. Plain and simple. So, I'm kind of glad I got all these weapons. We haven't faced anything new. The Killer Wasp, we haven't faced anything new because of the fact that they were on Piteous Dungeon. So, yeah, that's basically a rehash of the Gamma Strand. And if you remember, back in part 96, And also, I finally remember to put the star shell on because I'm going to need it. If you remember back at part 96, the killer wasp pretty much killed Ignis in one hit. That's because we were at level 90. Oh, even if we were at level 90, they killed us at one hit. Oh, they killed Ignis in one hit while I was in the middle of a armature chain. And now I managed to use an armature chain this time, and they managed to pretty much destroy every single enemy in the damn area. So, yeah, I have grown so far with these guys. They went from barely struggling against demons to just acing demons like they're nothing. And that makes it feel so fantastic. Oh, and by the way, another thing about the updates I forgot to mention, and this is something that I should have brought up before I started this. Originally, Noctis was the only one who was in this dungeon originally. You were one-manning this dungeon on your own. And then they added in the vaults. But even then, some of them were too tough and others were just too easy. So I do believe I'm going to stop for a second and then come back to go to camp, because the camp has our apocalypse, which was supposed to be in Cicatric Trench. But whatever the case, I'm going to equip it to Noctis, because hell, Noctis needs it. And for the record, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why we're doing so much damage right now is because of the lasagna di Fiorno, I do believe. Yes. We ate that at Altisha while I was trying to buy some more ingredients for the Golden Tail soup. And now it's time for us to try some Golden Tail soup, because even if we continue, we're going to run out of buffs, and that's something I don't want. So on that note, we're going to make ourselves some more Golden Tail soup. Just cause. And yeah, I actually went a lot. I went and did some grocery shopping. A lot of grocery shopping, to say the least. And I still didn't get enough food to complete all of my stocks and or at least use my recipes. That's what I'm trying to say. But for the most part, we're gonna have ourselves a good meal. So with that said, we'll eat our soup. And I only got 97 AP out of all of this. Not bad. I could have more, like say 400 to 500 AP, but beggars can't be choosers. Oh, and earlier I probably saw Gentiana as well in those group of pictures. So with that said, I'll step off for a minute. I'll be right back, because there's something I gotta do right quick. So, see you later. And I'm back. I had to deal with some important business off screen, but now it's time for us to deal with the important business on screen. I didn't switch to the Apocalypse. I mean, I equipped it, but I didn't switch to it because imps. Yeah, Gamma Strand, unfortunately. So they're gonna actually hit harder than the normal imps. Which, to be honest, the imps actually don't hit too hard. I mean, if they were low level, yeah. But, no, if we were low level, yes, they would hit hard. But seeing as how we've come so far, we've gone through the worst. We've even went through Piteous Dungeon.
Bring on the next one.
These imps, even at level 84, should be no problem. And we found an Earth Gemstone, even though we've already built the weapon that needed it. Oh no. Not these assholes again. Oh god! Not again! Why? Why? God, I hate Mind Flayers so much. It's these monsters right here that makes me want to use the Magitech Exosuit, so that way I won't get infected with some sort of poison or instantly killed. But again, at least we have items. That's the only reason why I don't have it on right now. Ah, yes, the fact that we're using items is fantastic. I know I keep harping on at least the fact we have items because, folks, part 1, let's be honest, the worst vault in the game was already done. So, every other vault should be a walk in the park. Not necessarily, but there's still the vaults have their BS moments. You'll soon see in part 5.
Onward.
Because we're going to Darrell next. But, as it stands, I might as well just abuse the fact that we have items while we can. Well, actually, I'm going to use the fact that we have items throughout the entirety of this whole goddamn run of the vaults, now that we got rid of the worst one that prevents you from using items. Oh yeah, and by the way, if I start getting like C's, D's, and B's in combat, it's because of the fact that the enemies are starting to get stronger and we are doing less damage to... What the hell? Yo! I just gave Ignis a goddamn remedy. Hey! Hey! I gave Ignis a remedy, goddammit! Only on my channel was things like this happen. Oh yeah, blame update 1.20, because yeah, shit like this never happened even in the previous builds. And oh great, more hobgoblins. I mean, I get sick and tired of seeing these guys a lot, but hey, they're good punching bags and cannon fodder. Even the Boosamen actually put more of a challenge. If I'm not wearing a Magitech exosuit. Still, kinda don't like seeing these guys all over the place. So, hey, it's all cool. I mean, once we defeat them, that's it, we defeat them. But even then, now that I stop and think about it, these guys that are at level 70 and 84, they aren't even putting on as much experience as the enemies over in Castlemark. I mean, that's the only good thing about Castlemark. And it's the only good thing about Castlemark. You can always go back into the vault and get experience. Not again. God, I hate mind flayers. Nope. You will not poison me again. Alright. Let's just go this way. I think this is where we need to go. I'm pretty sure there were alternate paths, and if I'm not mistaken, it's this. I think it's this.
Whatever that is, it's disgusting.
No, I know it's this dungeon that I think there was like 2 bosses here, or maybe there was. Yeah, there was. I think it's either this one or the Raw Caverns. I'm trying to think of which one is which. It's been a while since I played these vaults, but one of them had the Isu Tathlon monster, the one that had the I would say the one that was a hunt. Actually, yeah, it was a hunt, and I do believe it was the boss before you face Psychomancer. Oh, look. Another Mind Flayer. Go figure. Hey, Prompto, take a selfie with that thing, shall you? Whatever the case. Let's just deal with this. And I had to turn it off because, of course, it was at the 9-minute mark. I bet you're wondering, what was that important business that I had to deal with? Real simple. Preparation for the next part. And by preparation, I mean getting magic. Lots and lots of magic. Because I was going to need it. Ooh, Platinum Bangle, not bad. And this was actually a dead end, so we're going back up. I do believe we just need to go this way. And I think there's 2 other ways here. Let's see. We have one and that one. I think we're going to go into the center. Or I could go to the right, whichever one comes first. Just gotta look at the rock formation. I'm pretty sure this may be the right way. And if it is, then I probably missed out on some bonus treasure, which I more than likely would have screwed myself over in the long run for. Meaning I'll have to come back over here to do it again. Thankfully, once you beat this dungeon, these monsters won't respawn. Oh god, there's 2 of them now. Oh, that's just fantastic. Yeah, how about no? I'm killing every last one of you until I am satisfied. And get wrecked. Oh, crap. He's still alive. Well, not anymore. Whew. That was close.
Put it in the books. It's history now.
Yeah, we were weakened at that point. Ignis, stop being weakened. Because, yeah, we've got more hobgoblins. Okay, now that we ran into hobgoblins yet again, I do believe, I think there's 2 more dungeons just like the dungeons we've been going through for the last couple of parts. And I think Crestholm and, I see, Balouve are multi-tiered, vaults. Oh, sorry. Balouve is going to be done the same way as Castlemark was in part 1. Because it's the longest dungeon in the game. Excuse me for once. Ah, yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was going to handle Balouve Grove the same way that I'm going to handle Crestholm, and also the same way I handle Castlemark. Those guys, those vaults are descending down to a large area. I mean, between 50 to 60 floors. Well, Crestholm is like 50 floors. Balouve is 100 floors. So I'm going to try to condense that down to at least showing off what monsters on what floor and also what items is there too. So at least that would make things a lot easier to complete. And again, I'm going to try to keep it between 20 to 30 minutes. I mean, it's kind of impossible to keep it past 30 because of all the... Well, I did keep it to 30 at least so far. But there's a good chance that that might not be the case next part because things will be a little bit longer due to the type of enemies we're dealing with.
Oh yeah.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what we got. Neither? Okay. But I do believe we're about to head over to the boss. Now, the funny thing about the boss, this area and also in Darrell Caverns, this boss is actually a rare hunt in the main game, believe it or not. And I was trying to figure out what kind of weapon that Nox had from Kingsglaive. He actually drops it. It's the Ulrich Noxus. That's what the name of the weapon is. But primarily he would drop other things as well. But the weapon that is here is death penalty. So I already have it. There's no point in me using it now. And getting Star Shell is a great idea because right now we have him wide open. So we can just completely wail on this guy and also try to end it with a armature chain if I need to. But unfortunately, we managed to... Oh, wait, now he's flinched. Okay, we got him. It's time for us to finish this. Let's go complete apeshit, guys. It's over. Psychomancer is pretty much like a Mind Flayer and also a Brain Drainer. But again, Psychomancer constantly... No, actually, Psychomancer rarely appears in the main story because...
That took everything we had.
Those things drop some really good items. They didn't this time. It's a rare drop. But if you manage to beat them in the story, they will drop probably the best daggers in the game. And that will actually be fantastic as opposed to having to go to Crestholm to get them. Because I think that's where they are. Mind you, despite Royal Edition, Psychomancers rarely appear. They have a 40% chance of appearing thanks to Royal Edition, as opposed to the early 20% in the early build. So bear that in mind. But again, Psychomancers is like the hard-hitting versions of Mind Flayer and Brain Drainers. No, actually, they're weaker than Brain Drainers, but stronger than Mind Flayers. So let that be known. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with Balouve Mines. If there was a weapon I missed, I may have to go back and get it and show it later. But for right now, I'm going to end it here. And in part 5, we are going to Darl Caves. Not only will I have to show off how to get into the mine, but also the mine itself. I mean the vault, sorry. But nonetheless, see you guys next time.